911, what's the address of your emergency?
We put her up for a nap. She is not breathing. She's turning purple.
Oh shit, she's breathing. She's still breathing. Let's go.
In this episode, we uncover the harsh truth.
Am I going to jail?
When parents fail to be their kids' protectors.
And then she said something about she was gonna kill the dog, and then she got all mad and she ripped all of my sister's LED lights.
Here are real-life situations captured by police body cameras as they confront irresponsible parents. A frantic 911 call shatters the night as a toddler lies unresponsive in her crib, her life slipping away under the care of a babysitter whose dark secret unravels in a chilling confession.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
1200 Avenue.
Tell me exactly what happened.
So my girlfriend is watching a toddler. We put her up for a nap. She is not breathing.
Are you with her now?
Yes, I am.
Is she awake?
She is not.
Is she breathing?
Out. She is not. She's turning purple.
All right, I'm sending the paramedics to help you now. Stay on the line.
All right, thank you.
Are you right by the baby now?
Yes, I am.
Listen carefully. I want you to lay the baby flat on her back on the floor and remove anything from under her head, and then kneel next to the baby and look in the mouth for food or vomit. Let me know when you've got that done.
Look for food or vomit?
Yes. Kneel next to the baby and look in the mouth for food or vomit. Is there anything in the mouth?
Hold on, I'm looking. I do not see anything, sir.
I'm sorry, what? Are you there?
Yeah, I do not feel it. I don't hear anything. I think it looks like there's vomit on her shirt.
Listen carefully, and I'll tell you how to do chest compressions. I want you to make sure the baby is flat on her back on the floor. I want the chest to come all the way up between pumps. Count out loud so I can count with you, okay?
Here.
There's an officer there?
Yes.
Okay, let them take over, okay?
On June 26, 2024, at approximately 12 a.m., the Pecan Police Department received a distressing 911 call from a man reporting that a baby in the care of his girlfriend, who was babysitting, was unresponsive. The caller, audibly shaken, provided the address at 1200 Avenue and explained that the toddler had been put down for a nap, but was not breathing and was turning purple. The 911 operator instructed the man to lay the baby flat on her back, remove any objects from under her head, and check her mouth for food or vomit. The caller reported seeing vomit on the baby's shirt, but no obstructions in her mouth. The operator then guided him to perform chest compressions, but an officer arrived shortly after, taking over the situation.
I don't know. I'm not up there. I'm scared. I'm shaking really bad.
I'm gonna have you come out here with this officer here and just kind of tell him what you were telling me. To the left and upstairs. He told me that his girlfriend put the baby down to sleep, and then when they went upstairs, he was kind of choking and not really sure exactly what's going on. So I'm just directing people upstairs.
Emergency responders, including paramedics and firefighters, were dispatched to the scene. The baby, identified as Sylvie, was found in a bedroom upstairs, in a crib, face up but unresponsive, with blue lips, tongue, and skin, indicating severe distress. The officer noted that the baby was still warm, suggesting the incident had occurred recently. The man explained that his girlfriend had put the baby down for a nap around 10:30 a.m., and when they checked on her around 12:45 p.m., she was not breathing. The scene appeared clean, with a well-maintained child's bedroom, though blankets were present in the crib. The officer suspected the baby might have rolled onto her stomach and smothered, as she was found face down before being turned over for CPR.
Are you ventilating them okay? Yeah. Yep. So ventilations are fine. All right, let's get them on water, get access, get one round of drugs and run. Let's do a pulse check.
The baby was rushed to St. Francis Hospital, but tragically she was pronounced deceased 30 minutes after arrival. The couple, consisting of the babysitter and her boyfriend, was taken to the police station for questioning. The babysitter, Kenna, explained that Sylvie had been unusually fussy that morning, a behavior consistent with her history of colic, vomiting, and recent diarrhea. She described feeding Sylvie a bottle, attempting to calm her, and putting her down for a nap multiple times. Around 10:30 a.m., after Sylvie remained fussy, Kenna swaddled her in a pink sleep sack, placed her in the crib with a fan on, and went downstairs to prepare lunch. She stated that she returned at 12:45 p.m. to wake Sylvie, as her mother preferred 1-hour naps, and found her unresponsive. Panicked, she alerted her boyfriend, who called 911.
Oh my God!
Let's go sit in my car. Let's call him to the hospital. Right? I got you.
Oh my God!
We're just gonna sit in my car.
During initial interviews, the boyfriend claimed he had not seen Sylvie that day, stating he was asleep until around 9:30 a.m. and then occupied with his Xbox. However, Kenna's account suggested he was watching Sylvie and other children while she showered and pumped breast milk. This discrepancy raised suspicions, and detectives noticed the couple texting during interviews, seemingly attempting to align their stories. The boyfriend denied having contact with Sylvie, swearing on his grandfather's grave, but forensic analysis later recovered text messages showing Kenna coaching him to say he had watched Sylvie briefly.
No. Now what? I don't know. I'm just in this room by myself and I don't like it.
Oh, Kenna.
I'm just really scared.
Well, there was nothing you could do. Kenna, I'm gonna have to get her house.
Can you just stay on the phone with me until somebody comes in?
And that you
Woke
woke up, she was already upstairs, laid down for the day?
Yeah.
Okay. When you came down, did everything seem normal?
2 days later, an autopsy revealed abrasions on the inside of Sylvie's upper lip and frenulum, injuries consistent with pressure applied to her face, possibly by an object pressed against her mouth and nose. The initial cause of death was unclear, pending further tests. Meanwhile, the recovered text confirmed Kenna's attempts to manipulate her boyfriend's narrative, heightening suspicions.
Like we got called out, okay?
Sylvie was very fussy, so I was feeding her a bottle and trying to calm her down. And she started to fall asleep in my arms, so then I took her upstairs, laid her down. She was fussy, so I brought her back down. And then she played with some of her toys. She has a caddy there of toys. And then about 10:30, she was still very fussy.
On July 18, 2024, Kenna was called back for further questioning. During an extended interview, she broke down, confessing that she became overwhelmed by Sylvie's incessant crying. She admitted to trying to put Sylvie down for a nap 3 times, but the baby's fussiness persisted. In frustration, Kenna pressed a plush toy against Sylvie's face, forcing the pacifier against her upper lip, which caused the abrasions noted in the autopsy. She stated she used more force than intended and held the toy until Sylvie closed her eyes, believing she had fallen asleep. Kenna did not realize Sylvie had died until later. She admitted her actions caused the baby's death and was arrested and charged with first-degree murder.
Releasing you, okay?
I'm just scared.
I understand. You'll have to see a judge.
Will that be today?
No. I can't tell you exactly. I'm not sure when the next hearing will be.
I just wanted to give them a kid.
I don't think that that's the last thing.
During court hearings on July 23rd and 25th, 2024, prosecutors presented evidence that another child in Kenna's care had previously suffered a broken arm with inconsistent explanations. The judge denied bail, citing the danger she posed to other children, including her own infant son. Kenna's trial was set for October 7th, 2024, with a follow-up appearance on August 15th. Motions to reconsider her detention were denied on January 28, 2025, and the Illinois Appellate Court upheld the decision, stating no release conditions could ensure public safety. Kenna remains in custody awaiting trial. In a bug-infested apartment, a malnourished toddler clings to life, her desperate cries unheard, until police uncover a mother's shocking neglect in a home unfit for any child. On January 1st, 2024, Fairborn Police Department officers responded to a distressing 911 call concerning a 3-year-old girl found in critical condition in a bug-infested apartment in Fairborn, Ohio. The toddler, weighing only 16 pounds, was severely malnourished and barely clinging to life when discovered. The call came from the child's mother, who initially provided a false name, prompting an immediate investigation by the police. The apartment was described as filthy, with bugs everywhere and conditions indicating extreme neglect and abuse.
Like I said, her mom lives in Yellow Springs, and I don't know where her sister lives anymore. I know that she's been talking to a lot of people online.
Can I get a picture of this eventually? Okay, I'll just give it back to you for now.
Officers arrived at the scene to find the apartment door ajar. With no one responding to their calls, they entered and found the emaciated child in a back bedroom, covered in bug bites and barely breathing. Medics quickly scooped her up and rushed her to Children's Hospital. The officers noted the deplorable state of the apartment, with cat feces and other filth scattered throughout, highlighting the severity of the neglect.
When's the last time you saw your daughter?
It's been a while. She kept telling me that she didn't want me around her because she had had issues with being raped when she was a child, and that because of that she was uncomfortable with us being in the same room.
During the investigation, police spoke with a man who identified himself as the child's father. He explained that his ex-fiancée, the child's mother, had called him around 10 a.m. that day, frantically reporting that their daughter was malnourished and that she was sorry. She mentioned she was leaving and planned to put her phone in airplane mode. The father rushed to the apartment from his uncle's house only to find police already present and his daughter en route to the hospital. He provided details about the mother's behavior, noting she had been talking to many people online and playing games like Destiny all night. He also mentioned her struggles following her father's death 6 months prior, which led to her neglecting household responsibilities and their child.
305.
They're fed. Good.
I'm going to call the number back. An older male answered the phone. Advised that he has no idea who Ariella is and no one used his phone. However, this is the phone number that came up on the 911.
God damn it. Motherfucker. Fairborn Police!
305. She was on Wallace.
I'll go.
When she called, according to the Joe Verify.
Holy shit, she's breathing. She's still breathing. Let's go, let's go.
The father shared that he hadn't seen his daughter in 2 or 3 weeks as the mother had kept him away, citing discomfort due to her own childhood trauma. He noted that the last time he saw the child, she appeared to be in good health. However, he described a history of issues, including the loss of their first daughter to Child Protective Services, CPS, due to neglect and an incident involving a gun at his uncle's house. The father admitted to arguments with the mother over her refusal to clean or care for their child properly, and he suspected she was cheating on him with people she met online.
295, can you see what history we have at this address, please? Jesus Christ. Fucking poor kid.
Police attempted to contact the mother by texting her phone, urging her to return, but an older male answered, claiming no knowledge of her. The investigation revealed the apartment was registered to the mother, and officers worked to confirm her identity and involvement. The scene was chaotic, with officers taking pictures of the apartment's conditions and coordinating with code enforcement to address the uninhabitable environment.
You straight ripped that door off.
I was just trying to...
Yeah, no, I
don't know.
I was like, holy Toledo.
That shit's disturbing, man.
I don't blame you.
As the investigation unfolded, officers noted prior history at the address, including a report from September 8 involving a person named Jasmine. Neighbors mentioned seeing the mother, known as Luna or Sai, but provided little additional information. The police continued to gather evidence, with body cam footage capturing the grim reality of the situation. The child's condition was described as terrible, with officers expressing shock at the extent of the neglect.
Probably 3-year-old in the back, completely emaciated, covered in bug bites. We thought she was dead, but she was barely breathing. So medics came in, scooped her up, but cat shit, every shit known to man in there, bugs everywhere.
The father was cooperative but emotional, asking about his daughter's condition and expressing concern for her well-being. He was taken to the Fairborn Police Department for further questioning, where administrative processes like fingerprinting and photographs were conducted. Detective Ryan, who introduced himself, assured the father he would follow up soon. The father requested that his belongings be given to the child's grandfather, who had been present earlier.
So I can't give you an answer like that, only because I don't know. But okay, all right, very good. Again, I will be down to talk to you in just a little while. All right.
The 26-year-old mother was later charged with felony assault, endangering children, and child abuse. On July 23, 2024, she pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 9 years in prison with no bond mentioned as she began serving her sentence immediately. Deputies storm a squalid, flea-ridden house littered with drugs and filth where 4 children endure unimaginable neglect, leading to a mother's arrest and a family's unraveling. On December 8, 2024, Flagler County Sheriff's Office deputies executed a search warrant at a residence following an earlier incident where an occupant brandished a weapon. Upon entry, deputies recovered a firearm and observed deplorable living conditions. The home was littered with trash and spoiled food, lacked running water, and had non-functional toilets filled with urine and feces. 4 minors resided in the house, which was infested with fleas, roaches, and spiders. Drugs were also found on the premises.
Only the kids.
Is it just the 3 of them right now?
Yeah. Am I going to jail?
Yeah, that's why we're gonna walk this way, and I want to get you out of sight, kids. Hey, come on. Come on.
Deputies informed the mother, Amanda, that she was being arrested on 4 counts of child abuse due to the neglectful conditions. She claimed she had been cleaning the previous night and requested her phone and flip-flops to arrange care for her children and animals. Deputies retrieved her phone and wallet, ensuring her children did not witness her arrest. Amanda expressed concern about losing her children and service dog, asking deputies to contact her boyfriend, Richard, to care for her animals. Deputies assured her that DCF would handle the children's arrangements and that her animals would be cared for, either by Richard or the Humane Society, without being put up for adoption.
Alright, so what's going to happen, I'm going to take you to the jail. 4 counts of felony child abuse, okay? 1, as a mother, you're supposed to provide adequate
I was cleaning that house.
adequate care for your children. I don't think you've met that level based on our observations yesterday.
Amanda was searched, revealing only a lighter in her pocket. She repeatedly asked for updates about her son, who was in a juvenile facility, and requested that her children, preparing for church at Calvary, be told she loved them. Deputies took Richard's contact information from her phone to ensure her animals were cared for.
Well, Amanda, we've been here several times, okay? It has never, you can say you're clean now, but I've never seen any improvement to this property. And it's basically the totality of his investigation, our investigation we conducted, okay? It's not because one day, or any particular day, or any particular thing.
A woman identifying herself as the granddaughter of Edmund Debiano, the deceased former owner of the property at 20 Fanwood Court, contacted the sheriff's office. She alleged that Amanda and her mother, Sherry, had conned her 106-year-old grandfather, who had dementia, out of the property. The family had been in a legal battle over the deed, which was transferred back to them, though Sherry attempted to muddy ownership with a backdated deed. The granddaughter was concerned that Amanda was sending an estranged niece, Bianca Carter, to take valuable family items, including art, a crest, china, and sentimental spoons. She sought to block Bianca's access given the ongoing investigation and court case.
Like, who can go to that? Like, because we can't tell somebody, hey, you can't go inside that house if that person getting permission from that person that's been living there.
But if that person is like illegally living there, has not been paying property tax, and has literally driven the house into like complete unlivable conditions, like, and we have our case is basically closed now.
The deputy explained that this was a civil matter, as Amanda, who had been living in the home, could permit entry. Without trespassing or a key, Bianca could not be blocked by the sheriff's office. The deputy suggested the family, as legal deed holders, could change the locks or pursue eviction through the courts. The granddaughter noted Amanda had been squatting after selling another property allegedly stolen from her grandfather. The deputy advised pursuing an injunction or eviction with a possible civil standby to ensure only Amanda's personal items were removed.
Let's go. Yep, that's calling them control.
Can you please just call my boyfriend? He'll take care of them. Please? I really can't lose my service dog.
You're not going to lose your property or your animals.
Amanda was charged with 4 counts of felony child abuse for neglecting her children through culpable negligence, without causing great bodily harm, permanent disfigurement, or disability. On her daughter's 13th birthday, a mother's rage turns a celebration into a nightmare, as accusations of choking and slapping reveal a home torn apart by violence and betrayal. On July 18, 2021, Authorities in Florida responded to a call at a residence regarding a domestic disturbance involving a mother and her children. The situation unfolded on the day of the mother's daughter's 13th birthday, leading to a tense confrontation that culminated in serious allegations and an arrest.
Can my kids go in the truck if they're leaving? I don't need them to be involved in anything extra.
How about you step back here with me and talk with me?
I'm gonna go this way. Can we go this way? Yeah. They can stand under the porch out of this door. Yes, sir.
The mother, Rosanna, explained to the responding officers that she was the sole custodial parent of her 2 daughters, having raised them alone for the past 4 years. She stated that her father, the children's grandfather, arrived unannounced to take the girls out for the birthday celebration. Rosanna expressed discomfort with this, citing her father's controlling behavior and lack of consistent involvement in the girls' lives, noting he had not acted as a grandfather for the past 8 months. She mentioned that her father owned the house they lived in and she rented from him, but she was unaware of the specific legalities regarding his right to enter the home. Rosanna also referenced a past incident where she took a felony charge for her father, though she provided no further details at the time.
So we picked my daughters up unannounced for their birthday, which is okay for their birthday, right?
Yes.
I'm the mom. I have full custody. Yes. My husband is on the phone right now. I'll put him on speaker. My husband's on the phone. Okay. He lives in Charlotte. Okay. I have full custody.
Rosanna appeared to be under the influence of alcohol, as noted by the officers who detected the smell of alcohol on her. She denied being intoxicated and insisted she was a good mother, emphasizing that Florida law favored mothers in custody matters. She expressed frustration that her daughters had gone to their grandfather's house earlier that day, claiming they only visited him for money. Rosanna maintained that no physical altercation occurred when the girls returned home, describing their interaction as a conversation where she questioned their motives for visiting their grandfather. She also mentioned being on the phone with her husband, who lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, and asserted his rights over her father's in matters concerning the children.
But how long legally do I have?
Whenever, if he evicts you, then he evicts you. Then
he's going to do it tomorrow or Monday.
That's a whole process. That can take weeks.
Months.
Weeks or months, it could.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I know. But
the grandfather provided his perspective, explaining that the girls had come to his house for about 3 hours after an incident at home. He stated that the girls had packed their backpacks and were halfway to his residence when they called him, citing their mother's behavior. He noted that one of the girls had asthma and mentioned a doctor's appointment for iron deficiency scheduled for Wednesday. The grandfather drove them back home, but within 20 to 45 minutes, the girls called him again, reporting further issues. He described Rosanna's history of instability, including moving between states, living in a hotel after being evicted by her husband's parents, and having a criminal record from an incident in Lady Lake, Lake County, about 6 years prior. He also mentioned that Rosanna had worked briefly at jobs he helped her secure but lost them due to her lifestyle choices, including partying and drinking.
And she said that she's kicking us out, and she ripped Jada's LED lights, and she choked Jada. And this morning she was also hitting me, and she hit me this afternoon too. So we called her grandpa, and then she locked the doors when we were over there. She isn't letting us grab any of our things.
Okay. They were at my house for about 3 hours. They packed their backpacks and they walked halfway to my house. I live over on 110th.
The officers spoke with the 2 daughters, who provided a detailed account of the events. They reported that their mother had been drinking for several days and was not paying attention to them. Earlier that morning, they decided to go to their grandfather's house for a few hours. Upon returning, they found their mother still intoxicated and asleep. When they woke her to explain where they had been, she became angry, accusing them of betraying her. According to the girls, Rosanna ripped LED lights off one daughter's bedroom wall and threatened to kill their dog. When one daughter, Jada, refused to give up her phone, Rosanna allegedly choked her on the upstairs patio until she relinquished it, causing Jada to nearly lose consciousness and fall to the floor. The other daughter reported being slapped on the face and nose multiple times when she tried to intervene. The girls showed the officers marks on their bodies, including a bruise on Jada's neck and marks on the other daughter's face, which they attributed to their mother's actions.
And she said that if I wanted to leave the house, I could leave and that she's kicking me out. And I said, okay. And then she wouldn't let me grab any of my belongings. And then when I tried to walk out with my phone, she tried to grab my phone. I told her she doesn't have the right to grab my phone because she was drunk when she made that decision. And she choked me until I gave it to her.
The officers observed physical evidence, noting a bruise on Jada's neck and marks on the other daughter's face, though they were less certain about the slapping allegations due to the nature of the marks. The grandfather confirmed that the girls had previously disclosed similar incidents of physical discipline by their mother, though he provided no specific details beyond the day's events.
And then she said something about she was going to kill the dog, and then she got all mad and she ripped all of my sister's LED lights off the wall, and then she took my sister's phone.
Based on the daughter's statements and the physical evidence, the officers arrested Rosanna. She was read her Miranda rights but expressed confusion and denial, insisting she did not touch her children and referencing her own history of being abused by her father. Rosanna was taken into custody and charged with child abuse.
Whoa, what, hold on, wait, no. Why are you doing this? No, I have pets. Why are you putting me in cuffs right now? Why are you putting me in cuffs, sir? Why are you putting me in cuffs?
I'm going to read your Miranda ones.
Why? What did I do?
I'll tell you, just give me a second. Alright.
Why are you putting me in fucking cuffs right now, though, please?
Alright, you have the right to maintain anything you say can and will be used against your court law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have a present with you while being
The
questioned.
incident raised questions about the appropriateness of physical discipline, particularly the allegations of choking and slapping, which escalated the situation beyond a verbal dispute. The officer's decision to arrest Rosanna was driven by the severity of the accusations and the visible injuries on the children. A cluttered, unsafe home with no food and open wires exposes a 4-year-old's silent suffering, prompting child services to intervene and uncover a family overwhelmed by chaos and neglect. On October 17, 2023, officers responded to a residence following a report of child neglect, including lack of food and poor living conditions. The home was cluttered with cans, some moldy and in disarray. Jessica from the Department of Child Services, DCS, arrived to investigate, aiming to assess the situation without immediately removing the child.
So, is that where he sleeps? Okay.
Jessica inspected the child's sleeping area and inquired about food availability. The mother admitted there was little food, unsure when the child last ate a burger, prompting Jessica to stress daily nutritional needs. The home had open wires and a broken refrigerator. The mother blamed the father's disruptive behavior, including throwing things, and noted he was removed by police for the night. She described ongoing domestic issues, complicating household stability.
I've worked on food stamps and stuff.
Okay.
But he does have a burger.
He did have a burger. When did he eat that burger? Your child needs to eat every single day. When did he eat that burger?
The mother acknowledged the need to clean up, frustrated by the father's lack of help and aggression. Jessica emphasized the 4-year-old's safety, unable to self-advocate, and issued a duty to inform notice, opening a DCS case. She advised a protective order against the father due to repeated police calls. The mother cited financial strain, relying on her mother's Social Security income.
You guys need to figure something out with this fridge. Or it needs to be removed, or you need to fix it, or something, because this child needs to eat. There's open wires, like this child needs to eat.
Right.
This house is
we
not okay.
We needed some work on it, but every time I was doing work on it.
The next day, Jessica spoke with the grandmother, who confirmed the argument and the home's poor state, including burn marks and clutter. No one was employed, living off $1,000 monthly Social Security. The child hadn't seen a doctor in 2 years, with outdated immunizations. The grandmother admitted occasional alcohol use, while the mother noted the father's marijuana use to stay calm.
Yeah, this is dead.
Was he asked to leave this property last night?
Yeah, and he came back this morning.
Is he allowed to be back?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so you guys got in an argument last night. About what?
I'm not real sure. The only thing I got out of it was that I was in Dad's room.
The home lacked food, had running utilities, but was unsafe with clutter and possible bed bugs. The child had marks, possibly bites, attributed to clumsiness and high energy, potentially ADHD. He wasn't fully potty trained, with the mother uncomfortable assisting due to gender, and the father uninvolved.
What's up? Alright. Okay, so what's going on at the house?
Sleeping arrangements were concerning, with the mother, child, and grandfather sometimes sharing a room, though the mother denied an inappropriate relationship. The father admitted arguments and frustration, unable to manage household duties alone. He was unsure about the child's medical history, but worked on basic skills with him.
Food that you guys have.
Right now.
How do you sleep on the couch when it's like that?
I usually don't. I have to curl from the floor. That's why I've been sleeping somewhere.
DCS, concerned about safety, lack of food, and hygiene, the child's last bath was a week ago, removed the child to his great-grandmother's pending evaluation. Jessica offered resources including drug testing, urging cooperation. The mother emotional, committed to reuniting with her child. The father proposed moving to Missouri for stability, but Jessica reviewed his rights, noting DCS couldn't compel cooperation, but could petition the court if the child was unsafe. He acknowledged the need to clean up, but felt overwhelmed.
Tess, I'm going to detain you for this at this point in reference to your case, okay? There's some stuff I got to go over with you. She's being detained for an old case. So Tessa, it looks like you have an adult abuse warrant, all right? Or child abuse, one of the two.
Tessa, the mother, was detained on an outstanding warrant for adult or child abuse, arrested with a $2,500 bond for a grand jury warrant, with court the next morning. The father complained about her arrest, citing inadequate clothing and no female deputy. The sergeant clarified her attire was sufficient, a female deputy wasn't required, and body camera footage confirmed proper conduct. A metal baseball bat becomes a weapon of terror in a mother's hands as her children flee her violent outburst. Their bruises and fear captured on body cams in a harrowing call for help. On April 26, 2023, at approximately 6:31 p.m., West Palm Beach police responded to a call regarding an armed assault at a residence in Florida. Upon arrival, officers encountered a juvenile who reported that his mother, Maria Smith, had attacked him and his sister with a metal baseball bat. The juvenile, visibly shaken, described the incident to the responding officers, stating that his mother had chased his sister outside with a bat and possibly struck her. He also claimed that when he intervened, Maria hit him on his back, arm, and elbow with the bat. The juvenile showed officers the areas where he was allegedly struck, and visible bruises were noted on his back and arm. Medics were called to assess his injuries, and photographs were taken of the redness and marks on his body. The juvenile declined immediate hospital transport, but was advised that medical evaluation was available if needed.
She's good.
Are you?
Step out this way now.
What am I?
Step out this way.
Okay.
Step out this way.
My kids are in the house.
Okay.
What? Hold on here. What is happening here? What am I doing this for?
The juvenile further explained that the incident began over a minor dispute involving his younger brother, who was crying about cereal. The juvenile's sister had argued with the younger brother, leading to a physical altercation where the younger brother hit her. Maria, according to the juvenile, was more lenient with the younger siblings and took their side. This escalated into a confrontation where Jarvis, the juvenile's sister, where Maria allegedly chased her with a bat, threw her to the ground, and possibly hit her. The juvenile recounted that Maria then turned on him when he tried to intervene, striking him with a bat and threatening him. He also mentioned a BB gun, which he said Maria attempted to grab during the altercation. He took it from her and threw it into a lake to prevent further escalation. The juvenile stated that Maria smashed his phone with a bat during the incident, which he was using to contact his grandmother and father to report the situation.
Nothing. No, it was really my little brother. He cried over some cereal. He went and hit my little sister. He hit my sister, and she retaliated back and said, "Don't hit me." And you know, my mom, she's more lenient with the little ones, the two little ones. So she went back and forth for my sister. Put her out the house saying, "Oh, she don't want it. I told you you could have stayed with your dad. I don't want y'all here."
Hold on. It's your dad.
Hello?
Officers approached the residence and instructed Maria Smith to come out with her hands up. She complied, appearing confused and questioning why she was being detained. Maria confirmed that her 3 children, aged 15, 10, and 8, were inside the house and her 17-year-old son was, quote, somewhere running around with the BB gun. The children were safely removed from the home, with the 15-year-old found in the shower and the younger children brought downstairs. The officers ensured the children were calm and not in distress, with one officer staying with them while others questioned Maria.
Yeah, so I just ran to the neighbor. She said that I'm gonna F up your sister if you say anybody you're next. That's what I told you on my phone. She smashed my phone with the bat. Yeah, so after she said, I said, you're not going to hit her with that bat. And then she said, what are you going to do about it? I said, you're not going to hit her with that bat.
Hey, buddy.
The juvenile reiterated his account to another officer, explaining that the conflict stemmed from his mother's favoritism toward the younger siblings. He described how Maria chased his sister outside, threw her in the dirt, and then attacked him with the bat when he confronted her. He also mentioned Maria's threat to harm his sister further if he spoke out, which prompted him to flee to a neighbor's house and call the police. The officers noted the juvenile's injuries and arranged for medical evaluation, though he did not believe the injuries were severe enough to require immediate hospitalization.
Take a
photo of his face as well. Will you pull down your mask?
When you take my glasses off?
You don't have to, but it wouldn't help. Try to push your dress back.
Maria Smith was detained for questioning. After being read her Miranda rights, which she acknowledged understanding, she provided her version of events. She claimed the incident began with an argument between her daughter and younger son over popcorn. Maria said she sent her daughter outside for throwing rocks defiantly, and the situation escalated when her 17-year-old son became disrespectful and challenged her authority. She admitted to grabbing the bat when he lunged at her, but insisted she did not strike him. Instead, she claimed she smashed her phone, which he was using, and denied causing any injuries to his back or arm. Maria stated that her son ran through the house, knocked over a table, grabbed the BB gun, and fled outside. She locked the gate behind him and refused to let him back in, intending to take her younger son to baseball practice when the police arrived.
Stay there. Him and his sister, because they don't listen. They were both free to stay there. He was upset about that. Mainly, he was more so upset because my son was
Maria
bothered.
was taken into custody and charged with child abuse based on the juvenile's allegations and the visible injuries observed by the officers. On April 23, 2025 in Ohio, police responded to a distressing call from a 15-year-old girl who reported that her father was being attacked by his wife. The incident unfolded in a household marked by tension, fueled by personal and professional frustrations.
We got back from the store, dude, and just out of nowhere, she snatched the headphones out of my ears when I was sitting there, and I was like, whoa. I was like, I didn't buy that shit for you to come in here and start acting like this to me. And then she snapped again and started doing all this shit and just going off. And then I came in here.
The father recounted the events to the responding officers. Earlier that day, his wife, stressed from news that her job would be terminated at the end of the month, had been drinking, which was unusual for her. The couple had returned from the store when an argument erupted. Out of nowhere, she snatched the headphones from his ears while he was sitting, prompting a heated exchange. He expressed his frustration, saying he hadn't bought the items for her to act this way. The situation escalated as she continued to lash out verbally, eventually involving the man's daughter in the dispute. The daughter, just back from a game, was questioned aggressively by the wife about her feelings toward her father, which the daughter rebuffed before stepping outside to avoid the conflict.
Okay. How long have you guys been married?
I think it's like 8 years now. And I knew her a little bit before that, so we've been like trying to work through shit multiple times, dude. But
She hit you with a closed fist, slapping?
I mean, I don't even know. It wasn't like...
The situation took a physical turn when the wife, in front of the daughter, ripped the father's shirt and caused his Mountain Dew to spill everywhere. The father noted that once his wife realized the police were being called, she went outside to talk on the phone. The daughter, shaken, explained to the officers that she had used her father's phone to call 911 after witnessing the altercation. She emphasized that this wasn't the first time such an incident had occurred, describing a pattern of aggressive behavior from her stepmother, including a previous instance where the stepmother had pulled her hair and grabbed her arms, leading to the daughter temporarily leaving home.
When he and I got together, okay, like I left my whole life, my own son. We went through all this stuff. We were on drugs, we were homeless. We got sober, we finally got a place, he got custody. I've been here through it all, okay? I've been here and I've supported him through it all.
The father shared that he and his wife had been married for about 8 years, having known each other slightly longer. Their relationship had been tumultuous, marked by multiple attempts to work through issues, including past struggles with drug addiction and homelessness. He described the physical altercation, mentioning that his wife had slapped him with a closed fist, causing his Mountain Dew to spill as he tried to shield himself. He expressed a desire to avoid further conflict, stating he didn't want her in his life anymore, but felt stuck due to their marriage.
I just want my husband to be my husband. I want him to not have his kids involved in our marriage. That's not too much to ask for. We were together for 4 years before he got custody, homeless and on drugs, okay? He did not have his shit together then. Okay, he got custody of his kids and got a place and instantly just flicked me to the side.
When officers spoke with the wife, she was visibly upset and apologetic, acknowledging her actions while attributing them to overwhelming stress. She explained that her job was being contracted out, and the past 3 weeks had been particularly rough. She felt unsupported by her husband, who she claimed was never there for her emotionally. She described their 9-year marriage as a roller coaster, with periods of separation and reconciliation. She had left her own son and life behind to help raise her husband's children, but felt unappreciated and disrespected, particularly by his daughter, who she claimed had insulted her repeatedly. The wife admitted to drinking to cope and losing control during the argument, expressing regret for involving the children and for the physical altercation.
I don't like when you want me to help you with your daughter, but you don't want to help me go get my son. I've sacrificed everything for his kids, and he has sacrificed nothing for my kid. Like, I know I'm an idiot. I know I'm so stupid.
She shared her frustration, noting that her husband's lack of support and perceived narcissism had driven a wedge between them. She recounted past separations, including a 2-month period in Newark, during which her husband had begged her to return, only to revert to dismissive behavior. She insisted that she still loved him, but felt isolated, with no one to turn to except her son, who lived in the same state. She pleaded for counseling, believing that with professional help and boundaries to keep the children out of their marital issues, they could salvage their relationship. She also mentioned her efforts to improve her life, including involvement in church, Bible study, and plans for mission trips, which she felt her husband did not support.
What was even going on, because I've been out there for like an hour and I just came inside and I was so confused. I was like, what are you even talking about? And she was like talking about how she was gonna help get us taken away from my dad and stuff like that, like just
help Tina, which is their mom, right outside.
The daughter provided further context, describing her stepmother's aggressive behavior as a recurring issue. She recounted how her stepmother had brought her and her mother into arguments, making baseless accusations and threatening to have the children taken away from their father. The daughter was adamant that she and her siblings were unwillingly dragged into the couple's disputes, and she expressed concern for her father's well-being.
I'm so hurt and I'm so broken and I'm just so angry. And I know I shouldn't have done that, and I know that. But I'm so frustrated, I'm so alone, and he is such a narcissist, and it's like, I feel like I'm all by myself, and I have no one who I can be arrested.
The officers explained to the wife that, under Ohio law, domestic violence incidents required action regardless of whether the victim pressed charges. Despite the father's reluctance to pursue charges, stating he simply wanted his wife out of his life, the physical evidence of the altercation left the police with no choice. The wife, who had never been arrested before, was informed she would likely see a judge the following morning, and, given her lack of criminal history, might be released soon after. She was visibly embarrassed and apologetic, worried about her immediate future, including her job and living situation. The father indicated he planned to leave the house with his children, allowing her to stay.
All right, go ahead and step out here. Just hold your hands out in front of you just like this. Okay. We'll cuff you in front. You're, compliant. There's no issues. No reason to stuff you behind your back. He's been advised that he'll need to appear in court and testify on his behalf for the charge.
The woman was arrested and charged with domestic violence, reflecting the legal consequences of the physical altercation, as Ohio law mandates action in such cases. On November 23, 2022, police responded to a call at a Walmart where a woman had not paid for an item at the self-checkout. She became visibly emotional, asserting that the oversight was accidental and that she had the funds to pay for the item, hoping to avoid arrest.
What's your last name?
Some of them are not even paying attention.
I'm turning mine off.
I can pay for it. It's just water.
Can you spell your last name?
The woman identified herself as Aaliyah, spelling her first name as A-L-I-Y-A. When asked for her last name, she appeared distracted and expressed frustration that others were not listening to her explanation. She maintained that she had paid for most of her items and had not intended to steal anything, specifically mentioning a bottle of water. She claimed she was unaware that the water and some food items under her bag had not been scanned. She repeatedly emphasized that she had money and was not a thief, stating she had never stolen in her life.
What's the
I don't steal. They don't even care. I don't steal at all. I've never stolen in my life. I've never stolen before. Ever in my life. I've never stolen. Like over the cheaper sticky. Over water.
Aaliyah explained that she was scanning her items and did not notice the unscanned water or food. She expressed distress, citing her anxiety and insisting she was not a criminal. She revealed she was 22 years old and born in Ohio, requesting to contact her mother or sister, but the officers informed her she was an adult and would need to handle the situation herself.
Baby, I didn't know. I just bought the whole cart, ma'am. Please. Keep quiet, hurry up. I need to buy it out. I didn't know it was a sin, ma'am. I did not know. I'm so sorry. He said, if you say anything, oh, I'm sorry. Like, just stop.
It's just better you just be quiet.
I just never been through this before. I've never been arrested for nothing. I don't steal.
As the situation unfolded, Aaliyah's emotions intensified. She apologized repeatedly, stating she was unaware of the scanning issue. The officers, frustrated by her outbursts, instructed her to stop talking and informed her that the matter was concluded. Aaliyah expressed that she had never experienced anything like this and had never been arrested. She inquired if the water was the only issue, reiterating her lack of intent to steal. The officers clarified that it was a matter of Walmart's policy, not a personal issue, but Aaliyah struggled to remain calm due to her anxiety.
Some of the stuff's not mine in the car. I'm just helping her. No,
I wasn't here.
I know.
I wasn't here.
I'm sorry for my
It nothing.
I know he said
it doesn't.
Walmart thing.
That's correct. It's nothing.
The officers directed Aaliyah to stand and place her hands behind her back. She complied but voiced her embarrassment and disbelief, describing the situation as being over nothing. She noted that some items in the cart belonged to someone else, as she was assisting with their shopping. While being escorted out, she requested an adjustment to her handcuffs, feeling they were too tight. The officers assured her they would address her needs once outside, but Aaliyah continued to express her shock, emphasizing that the unscanned item was only worth $2.
Wait for these people to come out here. Unzip it. They're gonna take it off of you.
I have two sweatshirts on.
Yeah. Don't you have a coat?
At home.
Of course.
While waiting for further processing, Aaliyah mentioned her familiarity with shows like 60 Days In and Cops. She recounted recognizing her uncle on a court TV program where he had hidden something in his hat during a court appearance. The officers engaged briefly, advising her to avoid ending up on such shows herself. Aaliyah responded with nervous laughter, explaining she was simply watching TV and eating when she saw her uncle on screen.
I watched that. I watched what's the other one that
Cops.
That I used to watch.
Did you ever see Marty on Cops? You should watch it. Look for him.
You were on there.
Yeah, you just gotta look for him.
What's the other one? I watched all the episodes though.
The officers continued casual conversation while awaiting others, commenting on Aaliyah's clothing, noting she wore 2 sweatshirts and sweatpants, and discussing her shoes to ease the tension. Aaliyah requested to unzip her jacket, still visibly uncomfortable. The officers reassured her that someone would attend to her soon, maintaining a professional demeanor.
Oh, you know something? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of like kick to the side so you can go back to it later. Yeah, that's mine. I was watching it and I'm like, what?
Aaliyah was charged with retail theft for not paying for the water and food items at the self-checkout. Given the low value of the items, it was suggested she might receive a minor penalty, such as a fine or warning, though the final outcome would be determined by the court. On March 17, 2024, police responded to a disturbance call at a Waffle House, where a reported altercation involving multiple individuals had escalated, with potential weapons involved. Upon arrival, officers encountered a chaotic scene outside the restaurant with approximately 20 people engaged in a brawl, reportedly sparked by drunken arguments. Initial reports suggested that a woman with long, dark hair had brandished a firearm, escalating tensions further.
Everybody just like... All right, stand by. All right. Any of you guys see what happened? I didn't see what happened.
Officers immediately began questioning witnesses and participants to piece together the events. One individual, a woman who later became the primary suspect, was visibly agitated, barefoot, and complaining about her missing white sparkly shoes. She explained that she had been inside eating with her family, her mother, her mother's boyfriend, her cousin, and her brother, when the conflict erupted. According to her, the trouble began when another group started running their mouth at her table. She admitted to engaging verbally, giving her opinion, but insisted no physical violence occurred, no one was hit, and there was no assault or domestic violence.
You just need
my shoe. I had shoes on. I'm not ratchet. I'm not white trash.
Okay.
I'm not that person.
That's okay. I understand.
I'm in nursing school. Like this.
Sure.
This is not my picture.
All right. So what happened?
My family. My trash white family. That's what happened.
Well, what occurred?
The woman recounted that the argument started after she returned from the bathroom and overheard provocative comments from the other group. By the time she reached her table, the situation had escalated into a heated confrontation. She claimed the opposing group challenged her party to step outside, but she denied any physical altercation took place. She also mentioned chasing after a red car, presumably belonging to the other group, but denied any physical contact or harm. When asked about her missing shoes, she suggested they were lost in the chaos, emphasizing that she was not ratchet and was a nursing school student, distancing herself from the disorderly behavior.
No, I don't. Okay. No, I don't. But you run the cameras back because at the end of the day, they're in there running. They're asking us to come outside.
So what's your question right now, though?
Oh no. What do you think?
So where we're at is the police got called. An investigation
because I asked them to call
and an investigation gets conducted. It's not police call or get called and then you go, oh, you know what?
Police pressed for details about the reported firearm. Witnesses, including Waffle House staff, claimed someone had been waving a gun and banging on the restaurant's windows. The woman initially denied seeing a weapon, stating she was unaware of who might have had one. She described the opposing group as little people who were arguing with her party, claiming they had initiated the conflict by taunting her group and challenging them to go outside. When asked if she had seen the gun, she described it vaguely as girly, possibly silver or pink, but maintained she wasn't certain.
What I see.
Are you able to write one?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm gonna write what I see.
Yeah, that's what I want you to do.
This is nothing but maybe lemonade and water.
Do what you want. That's fine. I'm not worried about the alcohol right now. I promise you. Okay.
I can promise you, I'm gonna write exactly what I see. All right. Here you go.
As the investigation continued, officers spoke with other witnesses, including a sober individual who pointed to the woman with long dark hair as the one who had the firearm in her purse. Confronted with this, the woman admitted to carrying a gun, stating it was legal as she had a concealed carry permit. She clarified that she hadn't waved it around or used it threateningly, and she was unsure if it was still in her purse or if her brother had moved it to their white Tahoe. She explained that the opposing group had been banging on windows and arguing, but she denied escalating the situation herself.
She was out here. By the time I got out here, someone was pushing her to the car. I don't know, but I could tell you I would beat her ass if she was out here.
Because it wasn't just you that was not.
No.
I mean, it was you and a group of friends. Are the group of friends still here, or does everyone just kind of take it off?
Whoever is with me is here.
Officers requested to check her purse, where they found a firearm matching the description provided by witnesses, a pink or silver girly gun. Despite her insistence that she hadn't brandished it, the presence of the weapon, combined with her admitted intoxication, raised concerns. She was detained, and her purse was confiscated as evidence. Her family, particularly her mother and brother, grew upset, demanding that the police review the restaurant's cameras to verify her account. They argued that the gun was legally registered in her mother's name and that the other group had provoked the incident.
I'm 21. I live in Northridge. I live close to North. Yes, I carry a firearm. It's not illegal, but it's, you have to have a CCW, but you also don't.
The woman, clearly distressed, handed her phone to her mother, stating she was being detained and might go to jail. Her family continued to protest, urging officers to pull the camera footage and claiming the other group had instigated the conflict. However, the police, relying on witness statements and the physical evidence of the firearm, proceeded with her detention. The situation de-escalated as the officers instructed the remaining family members to leave, warning them against further interference.
Michael, I'm being detained. Yep. I'm being detained. I'm being detained. Love you, bye. Can you give this to my mom?
You don't want to take it?
Can you give it to my mom?
You can take it with you. Go ahead. Take it.
The woman was ultimately charged with disorderly conduct, using weapons while intoxicated, and inducing panic based on her possession of the firearm in a volatile situation and her admitted alcohol consumption. On December 6, 2024, police officers were dispatched to a hotel in Elgin following reports that 2 young children, aged 1 and 3, had been left alone in a room for several hours. The call came after hotel staff heard the children crying and discovered they were unsupervised. An employee checked the room and found the children alone, with one in need of a diaper change, prompting the call to authorities.
My sister just came out and I went to the store.
For 30 minutes?
My sister was here.
Ma'am, I'm telling you, the person who called is someone who works here.
Okay, I understand that. But they have to do the complete investigation. Because then they have to prove that I was gone.
What's your first name?
You need my first and last name?
When officers arrived, they encountered the children's mother, who insisted her sister had been watching the children. She claimed she had only stepped out for 30 to 40 minutes to run an errand. However, the hotel worker reported that no adult had been present for at least 30 minutes before the police were called, and further investigation suggested the children may have been left alone for 2 to 4 hours. The mother denied this, stating her sister had been in the room and that the children were sleeping when she left. She provided her sister's name, but said she didn't have her phone number, as she only communicated via Facebook Messenger using her laptop, not a phone. She also mentioned that her sister frequently visited the hotel room to shower, but didn't have her own key, and the door was left unlocked, which allowed staff to enter.
You don't have a phone? How would anyone contact you?
Well, I just contact, like, are you saying, like, how do I communicate with my family and everyone?
Yeah, let's say I'm trying to contact you. How would I contact you?
Through Facebook Messenger.
Facebook. And then do you live here at this hotel?
Yeah.
This room? Okay. You were talking to Dalen. We just want to know the timeline of what happened. So what I understood is Dalen went to the gas station. Can you start from there? When Dalen left the gas station, where were you?
I went outside at first, and then I let my sister in. I was up here for a little, and then I left.
The officers pressed for details about the timeline. The mother explained she had been in the room initially, let her sister in, and then left for about 30 to 40 minutes to handle personal business in Elgin, about 15 minutes away. She said she didn't drive but got a ride from someone arranged by her sister, though she was vague about the details, citing privacy. She insisted she had called her partner, Dalen, on her laptop to return to the hotel as soon as she was on her way back. Both she and Dalen, the children's father, arrived at the hotel together and were questioned by the officers.
You left. Was your sister in the room? Okay.
You can see on the cameras. She comes here frequently. She showers here.
Does she have her own room key to the door?
No, she would need mine. She has a key to get in through the doors, but my door is currently off. That's how you guys were able to get in.
You left, and then where'd you go?
I went back down through this way.
The police informed the parents that the children would be taken to a hospital for a medical evaluation due to the reported duration of their unsupervised state, which was deemed unacceptable for children so young. The mother grew upset, questioning whether she could accompany her children to the hospital. The officers explained that the Department of Children and Family Services, DCFS, would be contacted to determine the next steps, and they couldn't guarantee the children would be returned immediately. The mother referenced a prior DCFS case, expressing frustration and fear that her children might be taken away. She argued that the children appeared healthy and that the situation was a misunderstanding, but the officers emphasized their obligation to ensure the children's safety.
How long ago did Dalen leave the hotel?
I'm not sure, because I was still here.
Okay, and then you left, how long ago you said?
Well, now it's probably way longer than 30 to 40 minutes, right? Because I've been here about, what?
How long were you gone?
25 minutes. I was gone for up to 40 minutes.
When did you meet up with Dalen? Because you guys walked in here together.
I called him as soon as I was on my way back.
I thought neither one of you had a phone.
Did you see me come in with a laptop?
You called him on a laptop?
He has an iPad. Neither one of us don't have a phone.
And where'd you guys meet up at?
Outside.
As the conversation continued, the parents were asked to clarify their communication methods, as neither had a phone. They reiterated that they used a laptop and iPad, communicating via Facebook Messenger. The mother was particularly concerned about how she would receive updates about her children without a phone. The officers assured her that an officer would remain with her to relay information, and that cooperation was crucial for a smooth process. However, tensions rose as the parents felt accused and overwhelmed, with the mother repeatedly questioning the fairness of the situation and referencing past experiences with DCFS.
Take my kids, no. Don't say shit else. Because this is bullshit.
We're in the hallway now. Okay, in the hallway.
No, it's okay. I'm going. I'm going. For what?
Just put him on your back.
For what? For what? Me?
No, I had my fucking sister.
She wasn't here. The video shows she wasn't.
Okay.
You can't lie with the video.
The officers explained that the hotel's surveillance footage contradicted the mother's claim that her sister was present, showing no adult in the room for an extended period. They stressed that leaving children aged 1 and 3 alone for 3 or more hours was unacceptable under any circumstances and constituted a crime. The parents were informed that they would be taken to the police station for further processing. The mother, visibly distressed, asked if their belongings in the hotel room were secure, and the officers confirmed the room was locked.
So even when we're inside and out, right? I leave for 5 minutes.
You did not. You didn't.
I'm asking, what is the consecutive time that I have to be?
There is no set timeline. It's what's reasonable.
So if I leave for 10 minutes and I go outside and smoke a blunt and I come back in, that's unacceptable.
It depends on the circumstances. That's not the circumstances we're dealing with right now. The circumstances we're dealing with are that the kids were left alone for 3+ hours. So that's
you guys took my kids, so now how am I, like, this is crazy.
The situation escalated as the parents realized they were facing serious consequences. The mother expressed disbelief, noting she had once considered joining the police academy and felt the system was unfairly targeting them. The officers maintained that their actions were driven by a duty to protect the children, not personal judgment, and that DCFS would make the final determination about the children's custody.
I'm saying that the DCFS want to see if my kids are okay.
They can't see if they don't have pictures. They're not going to come here. They're going to go to the hospital.
Okay, then they can see them at the hospital, but no, they can't take photos. They're not taking photos of my children, no.
No, I'm talking about the conditions of your apartment.
You cannot take pictures of, my apartment.
You don't want me to?
No, I mean, it's, for the most part, it's not that bad, but...
It documents the conditions at the time that we were...
The investigation revealed that the children had been left unattended since around 1:30 p.m., which the officers deemed a significant risk to their safety. To document the conditions, they requested permission to photograph the hotel room, but the mother refused, concerned about privacy. Ultimately, both parents were taken to the police station to be booked and processed.
So you guys witnessed my door lock, right? And you have it on camera, like, that my kid's stuff is safe?
Yeah, I mean, it's locked in there.
Of course, but you guys were already in the room, so I just want to make sure that no one else can get in and take any of my children's or my...
Both individuals were charged with 2 counts of child endangerment, one for each child, based on the evidence that they had left the 1- and 3-year-old children unsupervised in the hotel room for an extended period. At approximately 2:40 a.m. on May 3rd, 2025, a 911 call reported a heated altercation between a man and a woman in a public parking lot near a place called Sticks. The caller described a chaotic scene involving a group of about 10 people with 2 individuals, a black male and a white female, at the center of the conflict. The situation unfolded as follows, based on the 911 call, witness accounts, and police interactions at the scene.
See any weapons? Okay.
The 911 caller reported that the primary dispute involved a man and a woman fighting near a black car by a streetlight, close to the building. The man was described as wearing a black shirt, while the woman had her hair in a bun, wore a black dress, and was barefoot. The caller noted no visible weapons and no apparent injuries requiring an ambulance, though the 2 were yelling and physically engaging, with the woman reportedly hitting the man. A group of onlookers was present, but only the 2 were actively involved in the conflict. The caller urged police to hurry, emphasizing the escalating nature of the situation.
Just yelling and hitting each other. Okay. The male, what color shirt is he wearing? 2 seconds. He's wearing a black shirt. The woman's got her hair up. She's in a black dress.
Officers arrived to find the scene still tense. The man, visibly frustrated, explained he was trying to leave, but the woman, whom he identified as his partner and the mother of his child, kept pursuing him. He claimed she was drunk and pregnant, which infuriated him, as he was concerned for her safety and their unborn child. He insisted he did not hit her, only pushing her away to de-escalate, and was focused on getting her home safely. He described their relationship as strained, noting they lived together and had been together for nearly a year. His primary concern was her behavior, drinking while pregnant and acting erratically in public.
Okay. Did you guys see anything that happened? Okay.
He did not hit her. Hell no. He did not hit
Okay, what's going on?
He was trying to leave for the last 20 minutes.
What's going on?
This man was trying to leave,
Uh-huh.
and she kept chasing him down, trying to fight him.
Okay.
I'm just sorry.
So
She
you-
would not leave.
The woman, identified as Cassie, was emotional and distressed, alternating between anger and despair. She accused the man of pushing her by the shoulders and neck, trying to force her into her car, and claimed he had a history of abusive behavior, including beating her in front of her children. She admitted to pushing him back in retaliation, but denied any further physical aggression on her part. Cassie revealed she was 2 months pregnant with his child, but had scheduled an abortion, stating she could not handle another child with him due to his alleged narcissistic and abusive tendencies. She expressed a mix of love for him and desperation to escape the relationship, even pleading to be taken to jail to learn her lesson. She also alleged that he had enlisted 3 women to confront her, though no evidence confirmed this claim.
She tried to run up on me.
Where did this all happen?
Over here by my car. I didn't know he was coming back. She made me wait, and she pretended like she was my friend until he got here again. He tried to swing on me. I just want him away from me, but I want him away from my house. I want him away from my kids.
You know what you have to do.
A restraining order.
You gotta get a restraining order.
Man, I can't do that, bro.
Witnesses provided additional context. One witness, a friend of the man, corroborated his account, stating that the woman was the aggressor, swinging at him while he tried to walk away. This witness emphasized that the man did not strike her, only attempting to calm the situation. Another witness, unaffiliated with either party, confirmed that the woman was intoxicated and aggressive, chasing the man despite his efforts to leave. They noted that the man was upset about her drinking while pregnant, which sparked the argument. The witnesses agreed that the situation had been ongoing for about an hour and a half, with the woman refusing to let the man leave.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure she get her ass home.
This girl. I was out with him earlier. What happened, man?
I come up here because she's up here drunk as
Okay.
I'm trying to get her in the car to go home.
I thought you guys were going to separate from that.
I'm trying to keep, she's drunk as man.
I get it, man.
She's drunk as
The man explained he had initially left the scene, but returned after receiving calls that Cassie was drunk and causing a disturbance. He felt obligated to ensure her safety, despite their tumultuous relationship. He denied any physical aggression beyond pushing her away to prevent further conflict. He expressed frustration, stating he had provided for her, including buying a car she wanted, yet felt unappreciated and unable to reason with her due to her intoxication and emotional state.
Listen, I'm not going to say whether she did or not. I know I did.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping her. Whether she was swinging and all that shit, I'm not going to say because I don't want to get her in trouble. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I was preventing this shit because I'm trying to get she's drunk, bro.
Yeah.
All the friends that she was with, they all drunk, they all gone. Now she here by herself.
Cassie's account was less coherent, likely due to her intoxication. She claimed the man broke her phone and reiterated that he was trying to force her into the car. She also mentioned an earlier incident where he left and returned, escalating the situation. Her emotional outbursts included pleas to be separated from him, references to his alleged abuse, and expressions of fear that she would prioritize him over her children. She mentioned having 2 other children and was adamant about not wanting to continue the pregnancy.
You guys having a baby together?
I don't want his baby. I scheduled it for Wednesday, but I don't want his baby. Look at these hoes. He's trying to get 3 hoes to fight me in the parking lot.
Okay.
I don't want his baby. I have options scheduled in New York. Look it up.
Officers observed visible signs of intoxication in Cassie, including slurred speech and difficulty standing. Her car was parked nearby, with her flip-flops scattered, suggesting a struggle. After separating the parties, police determined that Cassie needed medical evaluation due to her pregnancy and intoxication. She was transported to a hospital for assessment before being taken to the county jail.
5 years that I couldn't be with nobody but him.
Because you're not going to be able to drive.
Man, my car driving is so.
Oh, we can't even go down that road.
Okay.
Make sure you get your friend and come back here.
I just gotta calm down. I don't care if I sleep here tonight.
Based on witness statements, observed behavior, and visible signs at the scene, officers concluded that Cassie had caused a public disturbance while intoxicated and had made physical contact with the man. She was formally charged with battery and disorderly intoxication. As of the latest update, no final court outcome has been reported. On November 20th, 2024, a tense confrontation unfolded between Angelica and her ex-partner, Nick, over the custody of their two children, aged 8 and 10. The incident, captured in a heated exchange with law enforcement, revealed a volatile situation marked by accusations, emotional outbursts, and conflicting accounts of events. The core issue centered on a child custody agreement, with Angelica insisting it was her designated day to have the children, while Nick claimed concerns about her behavior justified his actions.
And he says, oh, she just put her hands on me. I'll show you pictures of how he put his hands on me. He broke my orbital bone. I'm done. And I'm not going to sit here, and I'm not going to... No. I need someone to come and remove my children from that house. I have the paperwork, everything. I need him gone.
Who lives here?
Their dad.
Okay, so how do you need him gone?
Because I want him gone out of their lives. That's
not something that I can do. You have to go to the courthouse for that.
Oh, you guys like to use your funny words. It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, no, you can only do what you can only do. Okay.
Angelica approached the police in a state of distress, demanding her children be returned to her. She explained that she had gone to the school to pick up the kids, only to find that Nick had already taken them. Frustrated, she went to his house, which she found unlocked, and entered to confront him. According to Angelica, Nick immediately called the police, accusing her of assault. She vehemently denied his claims, alleging instead that he had previously been violent toward her, even breaking her orbital bone in the past with no consequences. Angelica presented a digital copy of the custody agreement on her phone, insisting it proved her right to have the children that day. She expressed frustration with the legal system, accusing it of favoring Nick, whom she described as a veteran who gets away with everything. Her agitation was evident as she argued with the responding officer, feeling dismissed and powerless.
And the boys are way too involved in this whole custody battle. It's been just terrible.
He doesn't care. He's basically like just scratching his face. He doesn't give a shit.
How old are the kids?
8 and 10. So they know how to manipulate also. I'm here. Yes. I'm getting my kids.
Do you have the child custody agreement?
Yes, I'm getting it right now. If you, like, I don't know, want to stop picking your face. No. I'm being mean? No. No, because nobody's been nice to me in the point,
I haven't done anything but nice to you. Okay? I haven't yelled at you. I haven't done anything besides ask you your name, your date of birth, and what's going on.
I get it. I'm not happy, though.
I haven't done anything wrong.
On the phone with a friend during the interaction, Angelica's concerns were echoed. The friend corroborated her story, explaining that Nick had a history of taking the children on her designated days, including an incident where he entered her home without permission to retrieve them. The friend referenced a prior conversation with a female officer who reportedly told Angelica she could enter Nick's home to retrieve her children if he had done the same to her. The friend emphasized the emotional toll of the ongoing custody battle, noting that the children were caught in the middle of their parents' conflict.
I thought it was my other son because he's hanging out at the neighbor's house. She comes barging up the stairs, smelling like alcohol, completely flipping out. I instantly called 911, and then she starts hitting me, pushing me, trying to break. Punch me in the back because they told me to separate it, but I live on the second floor, so I kind of turned my back to her to stop so I can talk to 911, and she just kept punching me kind of like a Charlie horse in the butt. I don't mean EMT or anything, but this has been nonstop.
Did you supposed to have them today?
Technically, yes, but I got a call from DCF today saying that they need to see the kids. There's ongoing investigations. Can I show you a video just from Monday, just so you can get a little context?
No, let's deal with it now.
Okay. Here we are.
But I mean, DCF can't
Nick, meanwhile, presented a different narrative. He called 911 after Angelica entered his home, claiming she barged in, smelled of alcohol, and assaulted him by punching him in the back while he was trying to separate himself and contact authorities. He stated he had picked up the children from school after receiving a call from the Department of Children and Families, DCF, which was investigating Angelica for alleged drinking and violence. Nick mentioned a recent incident, supported by video evidence from Monday, where Angelica was reportedly intoxicated and physically disciplined one of the children, leaving bruises on their chest. He expressed concern for the children's safety, citing ongoing DCF investigations and guidance counselor reports from the school.
But he turned over and she's like, and started punching his back and stuff and like all that.
How was he punching? Like this?
Like
this?
Like fists, just jabbing, like once or twice in the back, and then he said, "Ow!" Try to separate himself, but she kept trying to push and get in. And like I said, we were just like sitting on the couch, just relaxing, and then we just hear boom, and then all this happens.
Okay, just hang on tight here. I want to press charges, by the way.
One of the children, present during the incident, provided a troubling account to the officer. The child described Angelica's behavior when intoxicated, alleging she had hit them multiple times, including an incident where she punched them in the chest after pinning them down. The child confirmed seeing a bottle of vodka or gin in her possession and noted that she tried to hide it. When asked about safety, the child said they felt secure with their father, but only sometimes with their mother. The child's testimony appeared to weigh heavily in the officer's assessment of the situation.
We usually do it for school, but today he picked them up before I did at school. I went to school to get them, and they were like, they already got picked up. He picked them up without my authority, yes, at school. That's why I came here. And his door was wide open. So what do? I walked right in. I knock on the door, door's open, I walk in. And then he's standing at the top and he's like, "You're assaulting me, this is assault." No. You pretty boy, you think that that's what you... No, I'm done. I'm done with the accusations and with the way he treats me, and he gets away with it. I'm done.
From this point forward, I want to only do what I just said.
The responding officer attempted to de-escalate the situation, reviewing the custody agreement and acknowledging it was Angelica's day to have the children. However, the officer noted that Angelica's behavior, described as hyper and possibly under the influence, though not visibly intoxicated, complicated immediate action. The officer suggested conducting custody exchanges in a public place, like a sheriff's office, to avoid future conflicts. Despite this, Angelica grew increasingly frustrated, accusing the officer of inaction and expressing fear that her children were unsafe with Nick. She referenced past abuse, including broken bones, and insisted she was being unfairly targeted.
Facilitating that, you're not.
Talk to your friend. She had some very good advice for you.
Huh?
Talk to your friend on the phone. She had some good advice for you.
Yeah, just shut up, and I'm done shutting
Exactly.
up. Okay, yeah. No, you're telling me to shut up too?
So
Please?
I said talk to your friend. That's all I said. Okay?
No, what you're insinuating is different. I was going to go to my house. I want to go home, but with my kids.
Nick, for his part, reiterated his concerns about Angelica's drinking and behavior, supported by the child's account and DCF's involvement. He expressed exhaustion with the ongoing disputes and requested to press charges against Angelica for entering his home and assaulting him. The officer, while acknowledging the domestic nature of the incident, proceeded cautiously, noting that an arrest would likely follow due to the nature of the call.
They have videos of the whole encounter of what school? Well, no, the guidance counselor is the one that called DCF. Oh, guidance counselor. Why did they call DCF? Well, because of everything that's happening, but nobody ever believes me because they'll talk to me, the boys. So I told them, you need to tell your guidance counselor, and I even gave her a heads up, you need to talk to the boys today. Bruise on his chest, she held him down, it's all on video, of her pounding him in the chest. I'm in the kid. The young one right there.
Ultimately, Angelica was arrested, though the exact moment of her handcuffing sparked further outrage. She questioned why she was being detained for trying to retrieve her children, demanding an explanation before being restrained. The officer assured her that her car would be secured, but provided no immediate details about the charges.
What am I getting arrested for? You should explain it to me before you put handcuffs on me, shouldn't you?
Nope. Hey, you want to use these? The small? Yeah, the small. My Smith & Wesson, they're small. Yeah. Small, please. Okay. All regular size. Thank you, sir. I'll put this inside your vehicle, man, and I'm going to shut it off, okay?
Angelica's charges included trespassing for entering Nick's home without permission and domestic battery for allegedly punching him in the back during the confrontation. On May 27, 2023, police officers positioned themselves outside an outlet mall, anticipating the return of suspected shoplifters to their vehicles. As the suspects approached their cars, officers moved in to intercept them. One officer directed the group to gather in a specific area and informed them they were accused of stealing, instructing them to place their hands behind their backs. When one individual attempted to flee, officers shouted to apprehend him, while another noticed a female suspect trying to back away and ensured she was detained.
No, 54 on him. Let him go.
No, está bien, señor. So we're still missing one?
While sorting through the stolen items, an officer instructed that a pile of goods be placed near one of the female suspects. They identified items such as shoes, with an officer noting that each suspect had taken 2 pairs. Officers observed that the suspects had folded and stashed shopping bags, indicating organized theft. When asked for identification, one female suspect stated she had none, and despite further questioning about any form of ID, she provided no additional information. The suspect's refusal to cooperate frustrated the officers, with one remarking that the suspects were being untruthful.
You don't have an ID, a photo ID? Any kind of ID? An ID from anywhere? You want me to reset up over there for that?
Yeah, we still just. I'd rather have someone on push just in case try to dash. Did we take the prawn out?
Yes.
I just don't know if we have the charges on him to do it.
Officers continued their search for a male suspect with a tattoo on his arm, noting they were still missing one member of the group. They had observed him earlier carrying full bags to the car, emptying the contents, folding the bags, and returning to the mall, suggesting systematic shoplifting. An officer estimated the value of the stolen goods as significant. Via radio, an officer reported to dispatch, relaying information about the suspects. They noted that one suspect had appeared ready to sprint when approached, and another officer, Trevor, observed that the suspect's car was parked next to the female suspect's vehicle, indicating coordination.
10-12 with all parties.
So you see the way there's nothing inside the car? The same way you go in is the same way we expect when you come in.
Okay. He dropped, like the passenger dropped in.
Yeah, because he saw the driver get an approach and then he tried to like,
Thank you. Levántate, por favor. Ven, vamos a
Officers faced challenges verifying identities, with one explaining to a female suspect that they were trying to assist her, but her refusal to provide her name might result in her being booked as a Jane Doe, complicating her release. The suspect insisted the officer already had her name, but the officer clarified that without verification, her identity could not be confirmed. Another suspect, Jessica, confirmed her name spelling as Jessica, but refused to provide her social security number, hindering the identification process.
To help me pull you up, because I'm having a hard time, right? So if I can pull you up and I don't have to pull you in as a Jane Doe, it makes it easier for you to get out. So if that's what you want, that's fine. We can do it that way, but I'm trying to make this a little bit easier on you.
Officers identified the suspects as part of an organized shoplifting group, using lined bags to evade anti-theft systems. They described the group's method of repeatedly stealing and dumping goods. Officers noted that the suspects had attempted to lock their car doors to avoid detection, but the officers secured the vehicle. One officer requested that a colleague, Erica, place the two female suspects in her patrol car to separate them. They confirmed that the stolen items, including Nike shoes, were cataloged as evidence. Despite being short-staffed with only 4 officers, they managed resources carefully, with one officer noting the need to bring a patrol car closer.
You don't have a social, right? You have a social? No?
No.
Okay.
The operation concluded with all suspects detained and the stolen goods recovered. Officers ensured the suspects' vehicles were thoroughly checked, finding no additional contraband. An officer emphasized that the suspects were expected to comply fully during the process.
Welcome to Speed Bodycam channel, where we share police bodycam footage. We are a dedicated team focused on creating educational and engaging content about law enforcement. Using AI and advanced technology combined with editing skill, we carefully craft our own authentic videos. Our editing team worked hard to highlight the emotional and real-life challenge officers face every day. Through impactful storytelling, we bring this story to life and share important lessons to raise awareness about the need to respect and comply with law enforcement. Please note that the content we present is not intended to promote or glorify violence, nor to condemn any individual or organization. We share this video for educational purposes, reporting and encouraging compliance with law and law enforcement in your area. Additionally, our bodycam footage is edited for brevity and to comply with YouTube's community guidelines, focusing on journalistic integrity while bringing both entertainment and meaningful lessons. We appreciate YouTube for providing a wonderful platform to reach viewers and share valuable content worldwide. Our audience support is a huge motivation for us to continue producing meaningful content every day, and it means so much to us. Thank you for being a part of the Speed Bodycam community.